Versailles recaptured some of its bygone splendor at the recent peace conference reception attended by Mr. Byrnes, of course his task has not exactly been eased by recent speeches in America. Obviously, Mr. Molotov will try to make capital out of the policy now advocated by an American who for a long time has evidently been preoccupied with Russia, Mr. Henry Wallace.
The first article in the international law of the future is undoubtedly the United Nations Charter. The British Commonwealth, England herself, the democracies of Northwest Europe, Latin America, and in fact all the United Nations have a very important role to play. But in order that the United Nations may effectively serve the world, it is vital that the United States and Russia be in accord as to the fundamentals of an enduring peace based on the aspirations of the common man.
No doubt Mr. Byrnes would agree about that, but his interim report gave an idea of what he was up against in Paris.
Perhaps the time was not wholly lost, because our experience suggests that understandings, particularly with our Soviet friends, cannot be reached until we have gone through rounds of verbal combat in which old complaints are repeated, past positions reaffirmed, differences accentuated, and crises provoked.
There is, however, another factor very important to President Truman, namely American domestic politics. Here is the scene at a town in Tennessee after a pitched battle with GIs who said the voting at a primary election was crooked. Another scene shows President Truman amongst neighbors and friends at Independence, Missouri. The candidate he supported here against a congressman won the day. No, we mustn't overlook the American elections, but the president, while evidently putting a speech ban on Mr. Wallace, presumably supports Mr. Byrnes, as he did when he said goodbye to the Secretary of State departing for Paris.
The country is behind Mr. Byrnes in his efforts to get a just peace for the world. A peace founded on the Atlantic Charter and the Charter of the United Nations, on which this country squarely stands now and from this time forward. Good luck, Mr. Byrnes.